that the struggle for women's rights against patriarchal oppression and misogyny cannot be separated from our 500-year history of resistance in the global south against capitalism, imperialism, colonialism, and neo-colonialism. The first International Women's Day in 1911 was marked by the impending war that resulted from the division of world into colonies by the imperialist powers. Women in both the dominant and dominated countries took up arms not only against this inter-imperialist war, but also against colonial expansion and control, which took the form of invasions and occupations based on the exploitation of natural and human resources. We march today because these issues are still ongoing. Her streets! Our streets! Her streets! Our streets! Her streets! Our streets! Her streets! Our streets!
In Turtle Island, the white colonizers, through residential schools, have sought to assimilate little boys and little girls, abducting them from their families and communities. Every year, about 10% of missing women and 21% of murdered women in so-called Canada are Indigenous women, despite representing only about 5% of the female population here. Do you ever see their faces on the news? For Venezuelan women mostly, but also men, human trafficking is a reality of tens of thousands of migrants and refugees. Many get trapped into trafficking schemes where in order to pay migration debts, they are forced into sexual work, slavery, and more. In Palestine, women are left struggling to feed their infants as their bodies weaken under the ongoing forced starvation that the Zionist regime has installed on Gaza. About 250,000 women and girls are starving, and while their body disintegrates, many still have to find the strength to uphold their responsibilities as mothers and as primary caregivers. A similar situation is happening in Sudan, where being a female puts millions at increased risk of starvation and displacement, and where sexual and gender-based violence, such as rape and bodily mutilation, is systematically instrumentalized as a tool of war to force cultural erasure upon millions. Shame! Patriarchy is a system intertwined with many others, reinforced by capitalism and imperialism. Fighting the entanglement of these systems is feminism. From fighting against military coups and dictatorships in Sudan to opposing extractives in Congo and Venezuela, from working and existing during a decades-long blockade in Cuba to dutifully rebuilding Haiti with their own bare hands, for fighting genocide and cultural erasure in Palestine and Turtle Island. All these women and so many more have one thing in common. They fight patriarchy and gender-based violence, but they also fight the erasure of their culture, of their people. They fight the exploitation of their land and the unwelcome presence of colonial powers on their soil to resist the erasure of their very being. Most activists are women, and we make some fierce warriors, speakers, writers, cooks, nurses, advocates, and many more. Despite the systemic violence aimed at breaking women all around the world, they rise up to the front line, willing to pay a high price for their own, their people's, and their land's freedom and dignity. To me, at least, this is what makes me most proud of being a woman, much more than being able to open pickle bottles.